and welcome to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nikeya Young, and live in the studio today, we have a very special guest. Before I introduce her, I'm going to give you all some quick fun facts in case anyone here is new. So, Victorious Living Solutions, in addition to being a podcast, is a transformative coaching company, and we empower high potential leaders and teams to crush their goals despite life's challenges and live victoriously. We have several signature workshops and services that help you do just that. So check us out at victoriousliving.solutions.com. All right, so we are in season 11 of the podcast, and the theme for this season is Remix Your Mind. Now, if you want to know what the remix stands for, go on over to our website. We have a free downloadable worksheet called the Remix Framework. Okay, so it's just a acronym. I'm not going to tell you what each of the 5 letters stands for, but it helps you work through adverse events. And adverse events could be anything from job loss to just trying to survive the daily news cycle, child. But we go through different things, and if we don't take the time to process things and we just let it sit there and fester, then it could go from a negative thought to becoming a limiting belief. And so the worksheet is a good activity to help you work through that. So all of that is there. Now, we started this season in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, but now we're in June, which is what? Men's Mental Health.
Men's Health Awareness.
Yeah, Mental Health Awareness Month. So yeah. So we're going to have with us today, or we have with us today, the lovely Rosalyn Bates.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I was delighted to respond, and I'm glad to be here. So thank you again.
You are so welcome. We're glad to have you. Oh, you guys, Rosalyn, she does a lot now. We've known each other for how long?
It's been over 20 years.
It has. It's crazy because we met in college. We didn't go to the same college, but we met through different ministries. Like InterVarsity, we were both in gospel choir in our college days. She went to Northwestern and I went to DePaul. So we would go up to you all's concerts. You all would come down to our concerts. We would go to InterVarsity events and just all the things. So we have a lot of mutual friends.
Yes.
And then later we connected through music.
Yes.
Because Rosalyn is just the bomb.
Thank you.
On them keys and everything.
She's quite talented as well, as you can see from these podcasts.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, we've done studio work together. Yeah, we'll be here all day. And it's kind of weird how our life has kind of, I'm on this path, you're on this path, but like it's kind of come around to where it's kind of done this
it's like a
full circle because we keep doing different things or the same thing at different times. That's what it is. It's like, oh, now I'm doing that. Oh, I'm also doing that. Oh, now I'm doing this. Now I'm also doing that. I didn't know you were doing that. Girl, me too. So it's been that kind of thing. So we're both in the mental health and wellness space. Tell us about your company, Ross Garden Productions.
Ross Garden Productions, LLC, is a company that was founded in 2019, December 2019. We launched December 2020. And
bless you.
Yes, right. And
marvelous time that was.
The thick of the pandemic. And so my background is as a licensed clinical professional counselor, over 21 years of experience in the field of mental health. And so we launched officially in 2020 December, but we did a pivot because of the pandemic. In its original inception, I was thinking I would do some music ministry consulting.
Okay.
So that was the original idea, but there was a pivot, of course, because this global pandemic. So what I decided to do was talk about topics that introduced mental health and pastoral care, some of the commonalities, some of the distinctions, and how they could work together to help heal. And so we pivoted. And we had a good launch, had a few people who were committed to this understanding of how mental health services could be introduced to communities of faith and communities of color and just be useful to help the ministry.
Yeah.
The ministry side. And so there's a lot that goes into that. And so I'm really excited about what we're doing lately. We got some new developments going on, and it seems like it's going to be it's a big task to talk with ministers, leaders, and educators about mental health as it relates to pastoral care and in general, how mental health applies to our everyday lives.
Yes, it definitely does.
I'm committed to helping people understand what that looks like.
So, what products and services do you offer through Rise Garden? Just besides just therapy, but do you do anything else?
Right now, I'm clinically working in the area of assessment and referral, and I transfer some of those same skills of assessment and referral to Rise Garden Productions model of business. So what I do is I do workshops, I do presentations, both live and virtual. I have some presentations that really relate to ministers, leaders, and educators, people with teams, ministry teams, to help elevate how they respond to people. Many churches have care ministries, and so I'm committed to helping them find a good care ministry resources that they can use. We can customize a referral, a set of referral resources, phone numbers, tips, and tools for their congregation. Knowing the demographic is really helpful to know what is accessible to people in their context.
Okay.
The openness to mental health is also a task that we address, because there's different levels of openness. Some congregations are warmer to the idea of mental health, and that can be addressed as well. We can strategize about what that means.
Yeah. So we're going to camp out right there real quick.
Okay.
When you said that, it was just like, well, why wouldn't everybody be open to it?
One would think.
And one would think. But this is a good place to talk about how just as people of color, I think this is just a thing in the Black community. We have this, I was going to say non-spoken rule, but it was very much spoken in what happens in this house stays in this house, right? And historically, as a people, we've had a lot of very valid reasons for not being as trustful of the medical community.
Yes, and that is a real suspicion. It is a valid concern. As a mental health professional, as you can see, a woman of color and also a woman of faith, I've tackled that firsthand. I have a journey of mental health healing, and I am also the daughter of a former assistant pastor. So I understand some of these codes of operation, the way that ministry works, the way that we do church.
Yeah.
And often mental health is a taboo in many communities of faith and communities of color. And so when I went to be a therapist, I was facing a diagnosis, and I had to deal with that. I had to face that and walk through that with my faith. So God and therapy went well together for me.
Yeah.
And I have a testimony that I'm proud to share. And I am a big advocate of mental health and using your faith to walk that journey.
Absolutely.
And so I understand some of the tensions that people have about being a Christian and also utilizing mental health services.
Yeah. I would say because in Black culture, we had that tension, that apprehensiveness for medical. Of course, therapy and all that just got lumped in, as part of medical too. But also because we weren't going there, we still knew we needed help. So we came up with alternative methods for the medical stuff. We came up with down south, especially because I'm from down south, and most people that's Black in this country. If they're not directly from down south, then all their people are some kind of way they find themselves down south for a reunion or two. And so remedies.
Yes.
We did home remedies, and then things would work. Like they came up with a lot of this stuff got passed down through the years, different herbal remedies to do for things because it was just survival mode. We can't trust the medical community, so we have to do what we have to do to survive. Well, on the mental health aspect of that, as you know, the way we dealt with that was the Black church. Like the Black church plays so many different roles, and we would literally be here all day, and that would be a whole other separate episode just talking about the various roles the Black church has played or currently plays and has played in our community. One of those was, we didn't go to therapy because what happens in this house stays in this house, but we still need to talk about it. So where would we go? We would go to church.
The pastor.
We would go to the pastor. And so I guess how we can piggyback into today's topic, because we're going to talk about, we'll give it a catchy name. I didn't give it a name. I let my guests, like when I have guests, I let them name the episode. So we'll give it a catchy name. But we're basically talking about how we can help men.
Yes.
Because it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, Men's Health Month, Awareness Month. Yeah. And so it's like we all go to the pastor. Who does the pastor go to?
Right. And so, yeah, that's a unique aspect of Rise Garden Productions LLC's approach. I recognize that as a clinician, I have a lot of years of experience. I am female. However, in the ministry world, I am also a minister, staff pastor. I am a minority. So I have to pivot and use some male language when I'm offering Rise Garden Production services, because in many ministries, many churches, the primary decision maker is a male.
Yeah.
Many of the church leaders are male as well. So we are reaching a male audience. We're empowering primarily men to help with their pastoral care, enhance their pastoral care by partnering using clinically informed resources and tools. And I'm not trying to make men or these ministers or ministry teams and educators counselors. I'm affirming what they're already doing, but just giving them some additional tools that can lead to collaboration or their own healing as well, ultimately their own healing, so that they can do what they do with more freedom, with more confidence, with better relationships. For example, ministry can make a very crowded schedule, as many of us know. And so that with those demands sometimes comes relational tension. And so I want to help with that because we want to live balanced lives.
Yes.
And that is key to our health and wellness.
So what things have you been doing specifically to help those who are not as open to it's like, okay, what's this therapy thing about? Because it takes some getting used to for some people. I mean, but the Black church, it could be anything. I remember when they thought praise dancing was the devil.
Yes.
We first started doing that.
We have so many learning curves.
So many learning curves. It's like, what is this new? Like, when it's something new, true child, the mother's board and the saints
have given side eyes to many things.
Many things. And it's not impossible, but baby, you're gonna have to have some Holy Spirit led strategy to break through some stuff. So what's some things you've done to kind of help those who are like, oh no, if you need therapy in ministry, we got the Lord. We gotta just take it to the Lord and pray.
Leave it, put it on the altar. That's one of our, for better, for worse, that's one of our phrases.
Yeah.
So we actually address that. There are ways that we can warm people up to mental health services. And I have some strategies that I talk about in the workshop related to that. One thing that is key is that we have to recognize that pastoral care has some elements of mental health approaches
They do.
already. And
They just don't, they may call it something
right.
different or slight different vocabulary, but the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
It's different language, but they're achieving some of the same goals. And I talk about that a lot in the workshop, some of the parallels, the similarities, and then also some distinctions and overlaps
Yeah.
between pastoral care and mental health approaches.
So it's kind of like, oh, so we're already doing it. Yes.
In some ways, yes.
In some ways.
In some
We're
ways.
just taking what you're already doing and just adding to it a little bit.
Yeah, one of the things that I am very keenly aware of, having gone to get formalized education through seminary after I practiced in mental health for several years, is I went into seminary understanding some of the distinctions about mental health. And then when I learned more about what pastoral care looked like, it was clear to me why pastors were overwhelmed. And I went to seminary with a bit of frustration as to and wanting to change the narrative about churches and their ability and capacity to help people who were in need or crisis.
Yeah.
So that was one of my motivations for going to seminary. People are still doing this. I'm not the only one, but I've got a unique niche in the spectrum of the work that we're doing as mental health professionals. So there is a clear intersection of pastoral care and mental health, but there are also some distinctions. I'm very committed to communities of faith and communities of color because we have work to do around mental health.
Yes, we do.
We've got the pastoral care. We got
that part.
Some things to enhance about that. We were far ahead on the pastoral care spectrum, but trailing in the mental health area. So I want to help bring us up to speed with that and make it relevant, because a lot of people don't see how it connects, or they don't see themselves as being able to benefit from mental health services. So, yeah. And I'll be honest, as a clinician of color, sometimes I felt invisible to my own people.
Wow.
And I'm like, do they realize that we're here and that there are Christians in this field as well? People of color are in the field now. More men are in the field, which was a delight to me, because that meant that people were starting to see the value more in services, and that treatment was coming closer to them and more easily accessible.
Yeah. Can you tell me, if you had to do a top 5, what are some of the top 5 challenges that men, and it could be men that are pastors or just men in general that you've treated, are facing today? And they don't have to be in any particular order, unless you want to rank them in order.
Well, I remember just remembering some of my work with males in general. Their identity was really a focus. Like, who can I be? How can I be better to the people around me? Which is very noble. That is a great reason to go to therapy.
It is.
It's to work on yourself in order to improve how you show up for people. So I think that was key. So that's one identity. I would say another one is related to behaviors, or maybe some childhood experiences that may have carried over into their adult life, their formation as a man. So that's another strategy that can be attended to in the therapy experience.
Okay. So identity, we got childhood. Okay. Let's see. 3 more. Let's see.
I think some of the issues related to, I would say, what comes to mind is societal pressures.
Yes.
And by that I mean the way that society has categorized our men, men of color, for example.
Yeah, elaborate on that.
Yes, there are many things, and this is not just a man going to therapy. This is a man, for example, of color going to therapy. He's also a husband. He could be an uncle. He can be a son. So there are these roles, and then when we are looking at more broadly how a man operates or walks through life, we see the impact of societal pressures on that man. And we have to say, okay, how can we be better at nurturing men, but also holding them accountable for um, for their roles,
Yeah.
the roles that they fill, the roles that they serve, and helping them be more responsible in the ways that they may need stepping up, but also acknowledging the pressures that they face day to day. So, okay, so that's number 3.
That's a big one, though.
Yeah, well, that's its own podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think about that just in terms, and then the ministry, that could be number 4. Ministry has a variety, a unique set of pressures connected to it, balancing the work demands of managing a church and then also family.
Yeah.
Because church can be all its own, family can be all its own too. And so balancing those priorities is an ongoing task and challenge. Yes.
Yeah. Those are pretty big challenges. I would say I was in May, I went to a panel discussion, and there was a fatherhood panel.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, yes, it was really cool. I don't know if you know Khalid Scott. He's like a speaker. He's a therapist, and he tends to do a lot of mental health and wellness things around the city of Chicago. But he was on the panel, and several other men, and just hearing them talk about the weight of being the provider for the household.
Yes.
They all agreed that that's their biggest challenge. It's a lot mentally. It's the biggest role. It's like the role that most people look to men for, and just how heavy the weight of that is to be responsible for a whole family.
Right.
And some of them were saying it was especially hard if they didn't grow up seeing that.
Right. Yeah.
So they didn't have anyone preparing them for one day this is going to be you, and you're going to step into this. Like they didn't, their mom just kind of took care of whatever needed to be taken care of. And, whenever they needed something, it was there, and they just went about their way. But then now as an adult, they were having to figure out like, oh, it's not just going to appear. Like I have to go get it. And then not only do I have to go get it and make everything happen for me, but now I'm responsible for other people. Other lives depend on me. And they all agreed that that was really huge.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And that's the identity piece. And actually it connects with the others as well. Understanding that sometimes in the development has had challenges along that path of from boyhood to manhood and adulthood. There were some gaps, and maybe mentorship or fatherlessness was a part of their experience, and there's some things that got missed in that process, that there's a yearning in them for connection, a yearning for nurturing, a yearning for mentorship sometimes. And so that needs to be acknowledged and valued. It's almost, that has its own voice in the lives of our men.
Yeah.
And so we need to pay attention to what those things are saying to us. And those are reasons why men go to therapy often. Those are great topics that can prompt therapeutic experiences.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to talk to you about something else, and I should have wrote it down so I don't forget. Because you were saying something, and I was like, oh, I want to ask her a little bit more about that. Let me go back in my mind and find it. I loved what you were talking about in terms of the pastors going to therapy and being willing to hear that from you. That's what it was. I wanted to ask you more outside of the pastors. I wanted to ask you more about, because we're in this goofy gender wars. I I'm so tired of seeing gender wars on social media, men versus women, women versus the
And
men,
it doesn't have to be that
constant
way.
butting of heads, and well, y'all men just need to be accountable. And then the men is like, well, y'all need to quit nagging us. Well, we wouldn't be nagging y'all if y'all would just be accountable. And it's like,
That could go on and on and
it's just
on.
like a dog chasing its tail. It just goes round and around and around. So I was wondering, just because that's going on a lot now, do you ever get any pushback from men hearing accountability come from you as a female?
Well, thankfully, I am not in practice with, because I'm not doing therapy in Rise Garden Productions. I am doing more consulting work.
Okay,
with
got it.
pastoral care.
Yeah.
Just using what my understanding of pastoral care, and with all these years of experience in mental health, 21 years in mental health, 10 years, more than 10 years in pastoral ministry.
Yeah.
So my focus is affirming them and helping them do their role better in the pastoral ministry or ministry space. So my challenge is, my biggest challenge to them is, how can I help you heal better, or plan better, plan your ministry team organization better, so that you can go home for dinner.
And home can be a peaceful place and not a war zone.
And so your spouse doesn't eventually say to you, I didn't sign up for this. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's a real conversation that some people fear having.
Yeah.
Because of the high demands on the time and the energy of someone in ministry.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see that happen. I'm trying to do a preventative work with ministry teams, with ministry leaders, so that we can reduce opportunity for those kinds of intense conversations.
Yeah. But usually, and I'm glad you clarified that, because being on the consultant end of things does matter, because people are much less likely to be adversarial with you, because like, you ask me for my help. Like, when you hire someone as a consultant, you're spending good money. Like, okay, we're gonna go see the lady. She's gonna tell us what we need to do. We got our pen and our paper. Let's go. But
we do care about everybody's well-being. That is one of our distinctions.
Yeah.
We're not just looking at it from a consulting side. We honor the spiritual side, but we also want people to flourish. That's our motto, helping people flourish. We want to remove the barriers to people thriving and being effective and reaching their maximum potential. And we apply that to the ministry teams, the ministers, and the educators that we serve.
Yeah. So let's talk about, I believe it was on last week's episode. Oh no, it was the episode that I did with Rodney. Yeah, that was last week. Okay. Or week before last. I did an episode with Rodney, and we were just talking about just different challenges in the workplace. And one was the mindset of, I'm never wrong. And how when no one is willing to say, you know what, I was wrong about that, then growth is stifled. Because if nothing is wrong, then nothing needs to be fixed, because everything is perfect. Nothing needs to change. And so I was like talking about in that episode how some men in the workplace and out of the workplace, but sometimes as women, we come up against that mindset in some men, where there's a bit of misogyny there. And it's, well, I'm the man, so I'm in charge, and it's almost a very condescending approach to their female coworkers, because it's like, okay, sweetie, where's your, where's your supervisor? Where's your whatever? Like, Sweetie, okay, whoa, that's not, first of all, that's not my name.
Mhm.
But just like this whole thing that comes between men and women. Now, I noticed that this happens in the church too.
Yes, it
I noticed
does.
something before you came in. I was on social media doing something else, and I saw a tweet about how it's, is it the Southern Baptist Convention?
Yeah, a year ago today, there was a vote that failed.
Hmm.
They were trying to vote. I believe they were trying to vote down and against women pastors. Right around this time last year.
They just voted. I just saw something recently that said it passed, but it has to go through one more vote
Mm.
before it goes into effect. But whatever they tried to do last year, they did it again. They brought it to a vote, and they did vote
Mm.
to ban women pastors.
Wow.
Or yeah,
Well, we're going to see some aftermath of that for sure.
for sure.
For
That
sure.
is huge. I was like, oh, I gotta ask Rosalind about that when she comes
Yes.
over. But just that idea that you don't get a voice because I have a penis and you don't. Like, that's a
Mhm.
very vulgar way of saying it, but
Well,
that's the mentality.
that's
And
the biological term.
I mean, just saying, God knew our differences biologically and mentally, and He gave us, I feel, both something really valuable to share.
Yeah, and I support that full-fledged. I am an ordained minister and I
Mm-hmm.
understand the challenges, the unique challenges that went along with my being female in ministry. Um, Again, my context, I'm the daughter of a former assistant pastor, so I also understand the different lenses that perspectives of a person in ministry and the roles and relationships that are connected to a person in ministry.
Yeah.
And I want to give more value and enhance that whole system.
Yeah.
So um I'm not here to compete with
Mm-hmm.
men. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to enhance. I'm here to empower and equip. I want the whole system to be elevated, to be strengthened. I think that with all these conversations about that talk about division and distancing and not honoring or valuing our
Uh-huh.
counterparts, whether male or female, in ministry or in the broader context of ministry. That's time we could be spending healing.
Absolutely. And
That's
I love how you
energy.
worded that. I love how you worded that because when you are faced with someone who has that attitude, it's so jarring
Mm-hmm.
and it instantly puts you in a defensive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, he didn't. Right. But what she just said was so key. Like, listen, I'm not here to compete with anyone. You have this objective. I'm on your team. I
Yes.
want to help you better. I want to help the whole system rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Help me help you get that done.
Right. Right.
And just letting them know that. And it just dumps cold water on the whole whatever the devil was trying to
Right.
dust up there.
Meanwhile, people are in
Yeah.
need of healing and
Uh-huh.
crisis. So
Yeah.
let's pick our poison here.
Mm-hmm. Keep the focus on,
Right.
keep the main thing, right? Is you and me versus the problem,
Right.
not you and me versus each other.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on the same team. I believe we want to see, we as preachers, we preach healing. We
Mm-hmm.
preach restoration. So let's bring that home to our ministry systems. How can we receive healing and restoration in our ministry system such that more people get served, more people get connected to service, more people get good pastoral care. Sometimes that pastoral care can continue through mental health professional
Mm-hmm.
services. And I want to enhance that process so people overall get healed and
Yeah.
restored. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
I'm gonna be in prayer for the Southern Baptist Convention because I really hope they don't
Mm.
pass that. That is gonna be horrible, and that is, we've done a lot of work, a lot of hard work to move past that kind of thinking and for women to have leadership roles and opportunities within churches across denominations and all of that. And to have Southern Baptist Convention, that's a really big, influential organization within the church. Even people who aren't Baptist or whatever,
Right.
it influences a lot of. I feel like I don't want there to be a trickle down effect to where, well, see, they did this, and then it triggers everyone else. Yeah, we're gonna go back into the Stone Ages. Yeah. We're just no roles for women, and I don't that we don't have time for that. We really don't.
That's more repair work for us.
Yeah, I don't want us to go backward. I mean, we came a long way. I don't want us to. Yeah, don't do that, y'all.
I understand.
We're gonna vote. We're gonna pray against that because
Yes.
that ain't. I mean, come on now.
Yes. So more work to do, more serving, more repair to do.
What advice would you give women who want to help nurture the men in their lives?
Well,
I guess I don't know if that should be the question. Maybe the question should be, what are some of the most common mistakes you see women make?
Well,
that have their men needing your help.
Well, I think
help us.
The two questions are connected.
Okay.
So I'll go with the first response that came to mind to the first question you asked.
Okay.
I think that men do need a safe space.
Yeah.
And that is key. They need that safe space, the man cave, or, for young boys, it's the tree house. We need to give them their safe space and their time alone. There were men in the Bible who were going to caves. And when they emerged different and transformed. So that's something that came to me as I was reading scripture. And God can speak to them even in their cave, in their low place. For some, it was a very dark and low place for them. And then when they emerged, they were different.
Yeah.
So I think we need to honor how men process. Some process at the barbershop, for example. Others do it on the basketball court or through athleticism or movement of some type. Give them their space.
Okay.
And then, listen with empathy. That's another thing, because their voice is often silenced with all these societal pressures going on. It could lead to them withdrawing or isolating. They got to work through some things. And therapy is a good place for them to sort that out without judgment, without shame or condemnation, as we say in church circles. So, that can be, therapy can be a true gift. Counseling can be a great space for them to, release those things, to talk about those things, to sort through those challenges.
Yeah. I will say, and maybe you can tell me, I'm real good about remembering a scripture and forgetting the address to it. But the soft answer turns away wrath.
I believe it's in Proverbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you could be 100% right, ladies. But if your answer ain't soft, and you come with all the
neck rolls, the finger snaps,
and that sharp biting tongue, we can be quick with it,
or the "I told you so" tone.
Then they haven't even heard what you said. They've just heard the way you said it, and the way you said it was so off-putting. They don't even care about what you said, and that's problematic, because what you said was right and it was wisdom they needed, but it wasn't received because of the way it was presented.
Yeah, sometimes the delivery makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I asked all my questions. But did you have anything you wanted to add in terms of what's coming up for Rise Garden Productions, and how can people connect with you and your services?
Yes, well, you can follow me. I have an Instagram page, Rise Garden LLC.
Okay.
You can visit the website at www.risegardenproductions.com and check out our services and our products. And you can contact me if you have any questions. we've done a lot of different topics recently. Jesus and mental health on a college campus, for example.
I love it.
Life and work balance. We talked about boundaries and balance, and that was a 2-part workshop at a church in the southwest suburbs.
Okay, awesome.
And that was an amazing time as well. We have something in common. I also did some presentations at Trinity College.
Yes, Trinity. Shout out to Trinity.
Yes.
Go Trolls.
Beloved.
Yes.
Campus.
Rest in peace, Trinity.
Yes, yes.
It recently closed, but a beautiful college. Yes.
So yes, we have different audiences besides churches, and that's what I mean by making mental health relevant. And we can talk through the type of topic that your team or organization may want. We're looking at how can we enhance whatever you're doing and take it to the next level for the people that you're leading or serving.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. I've enjoyed this discussion on just how we can nurture and encourage our men, some of the common challenges that they face. And I love hearing how you're doing this, especially with pastors. It's a lot. We've heard some tragedies in recent years about pastors committing suicide, pastors stepping down from the ministry.
Yeah.
And so
I could have been that person.
Man, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. We always hear the phrase, check on your strong friends.
Yes, please.
Well,
we'll never know otherwise if you care unless you call them, because they sometimes don't feel the freedom to tell you that there's a lot going on.
I would say men qualify as the strong friend.
Yes.
Just by nature, by virtue of what their roles in society are. They're very much the pillar that everything else is resting on top of. And that everything else gets heavy, and we have to make sure we're holding them up. So thank you for the work you do. Bless you so much. And that's it, you guys. Check out all her stuff. She's amazing. She's fantastic. Bring her out to consult with your teams and your churches.
And music ministry too.
And music ministry.
We'll have something for you as well.
Okay.
Very committed to the formation of musicians and those with creative talents. They need pastoral care.
Yes, they do. Amen to that. Well, you guys, I want you to sound off in the comments. What are some things that you do to uplift and encourage the men in your lives? Did we hit everything? If you have anything to add, leave us a comment or two. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will see you next time. Keep living victoriously. Bye, everybody.